Hey guys, Tara Ryan here with Fairway Mortgage, and today's tip is about understanding appraisal contingencies. Let's talk about conventional loans first. You're all familiar with the conventional financing loan exhibit. And in that loan exhibit, you write in how many days your buyer needs to get the appraisal done. That's in section 10. The question I get is, what exactly does that mean? What has to be accomplished during that time frame? And the answer is you have to get the appraisal back, and then if it has appraised low, notify the seller within that number of days. Okay, what it doesn't say is that you have to get it back, and if it's low, negotiate with the seller and have everything all ironed out and signed off during that time period. What it really goes into detail in is once you've notified the seller, hey, we've got a low appraisal, typically you're going to send out the amendment to lower the sales price, right, based on the low appraised value. As long as you do that within the number of days listed on paragraph 10 of that appraisal contingency, you're covered. The contract then goes in to lay out other time frames. Specifically, it goes on to say the seller then has 3 days to respond, and they can either lower the sales price to match the appraised value, or they can respond, no, we're not going to do that. After the seller has responded, then the time frame goes back to the buyer. The buyer then has 3 days to respond back to the seller, and specifically to say whether they want to terminate the contract. If they terminate, of course, they are due their earnest money back. That is even though we're technically outside the quote appraisal contingency, but we met the contingency because we notified the seller, hey, we have a problem within the required time frame. Okay, obviously a buyer and seller can continue to negotiate and come up with other terms and another sales price in between, but I wanted you to understand those deadlines and how they work. VA, FHA, a little bit different. There's technically no expiration to the appraisal contingency. If you look at those contract exhibits, what it specifically says is anytime during the process with no expiration. If the appraisal comes in below the sales price, the buyer could terminate based on that and be entitled to their earnest money back. Okay, let me know if you have any questions at all. Remember, with me at Fairway, we can use shorter appraisal contingency periods than almost any other lender because we're able to do our appraisal so quickly, and because I order it on day one. I take on that risk for your client, so we can use shorter contingencies and do more deals together. Have a great week.